Who's our sponsors tonight? Good evening, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the All-Pro Broadcast Network. I'm Dustin Caldwell, and on cameras is Michael D'Amico. I want to thank you for tuning in on this lovely Tuesday evening. What a show we got for you here tonight, folks. If you're just tuning in for the first time, it is the Xfinity Series. It's a 5-race, all-in, dash for cash, $50 grand prize going to the points leader at the end of this. And tonight, we're here at Daytona Speedway for the 4th race of the 5th race series. So as we make our way into the 4th race series, things are starting to heat up. People are gaining a lot of points and definitely looking like a good battle for first position. Coming into tonight's race, you have Mitchell Reeves, your points leader, at 139 points. Right behind him is Dustin Lee, just 1 point off. So anything that these guys do in these races is definitely going to pay off here tonight, because they're going to be coming down to the last race next week when we finish it out at Talladega. So they got to definitely do what they can here tonight to get as many points as they can to try to take home that $50 grand prize. In third place in this race, you got Damon Gilbert. He is not too far back, just 9 points off the race or the series leader. And also tied for third is Raymond Rittenauer II. He is at 130 points as well. But as you look down into 5th position, Stephen Hendren, guy's been running that number 3 Dale Earnhardt Tribute car. He is looking to be about 16 points off the leader. So if you are just understanding where things are going with this, making some good passes, getting the pole position, coming back from the back of the pack to the front, winning, it all pays points here, folks. And that definitely is what you want to be when you come to the finish line there at Talladega. So as racers are set to get qualifying here, when I give you a little bit of information about tonight's race, we are at Daytona Speedway. That is in Daytona, Florida, if you're not quite the NASCAR fan. They will be running the Xfinity Series cars. The slang term with those is known as the B Series cars. That is the Mustangs and the Camaros that you would see in the Xfinity race. In the leg, almost like a AAA to major leagues or minor leagues to the majors, to the Sprint Cup cars. So cars capable of doing a lot of good speeds, and that's why we put together this Speedway Series here on the All-Pro Broadcast Network. Tonight's race will be 50 laps that they're going to be running. You got about an hour and a half, or excuse me, 1 hour, 5 minute time limit, but I think we'll definitely be making that. Don't really see that coming to plates here tonight. They will be pitting tonight at about 60 miles per hour. So when you look at the Superspeedway series, what is a Superspeedway? If you are not familiar with this term, it is anything over 1 mile of a track. Typically, your short tracks are less than a mile. So when you get up in about a mile, Daytona here tonight is 2.5 miles. So a lot of these bigger tracks do bring a lot of good racing action into the turns, into the straightaways. Some things you're going to want to see tonight. You're definitely going to watch the turns. Turns, as they go in the turns, looks like the lower groove this year has been working out for the turns. So you watch the cars pull ahead in the lower groove in the turn, but when they come out, pay attention to that middle to high groove. They're going to catch up with them and slingshot with the draft action as they go into the straightaways. So we are on a 2.5 mile track here tonight, so it will be pretty quick. So when there is a caution, I've said this before and we didn't have a caution, so I guess that's kind of a good thing, but when there does happen to be a caution, you see that Mustang iRacing pace car come out, they will be pacing around for about 4 laps at about 80 miles an hour. So, 80 miles an hour seems still pretty quick. Doesn't look too fast when you see these big cars on these, on the Superspeedway moving about, but it is pretty quick. So think about that as you watch this here tonight and what these guys got to go through and the different things that they're going to see. So Race Control is briefing the drivers as we speak. Give you a little bit of the top 5 qualifying times as they sit right now. You got Matt Clifton, number 20, Southeast Motorsports car. He's looking like he's going to be your pole sitter at a 49.6. Raymond Rittenauer the second, that's your third place points guy of the series here, the number 9 car. He's looking like he's posted a qualifying time of 49.649. In third, the number 100, going triple digits there, Mr. George Bark. He's your third place right now at 49.655. In fourth, you got Damon Gilbert, the car number 68, posting a qualifying time of 49.656. And rounding out your top 5 for qualifying, the 02 of Mitchell Reeves. That's your points leader coming in tonight, folks. He posted a qualifying time of 49.690. So before we get set to list off the drivers as they make their way to the grid, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors here tonight, Apache Graphics Race Designs. Always is good to see what these guys do. Over the top painting and designs, or designs and paints, excuse me, just John Hedrick. Check them out on Facebook, Over the Top Designs and Paints. Also, Dan's Top Notch Heating and Cooling, want to give them a shout out as well. They do a lot for the All Pro Racing Series. And also Michelangelo's Painting, if you're in the Mesa, Arizona area and looking for some good painting work, check out Michelangelo's Painting. Alright, we're going to make our way down here to grid of this 4th race out of a 5-race series here at Daytona. Your pole sitter tonight, folks, the number 20 of Matt Clifton and that Southeast Motorsports green and black, or black and green car this evening. To his outside, you have the number 9 of Raymond Rittenauer II in that Hoonigan Ford Mustang. Looking back at the second row, the number 100 Hot Wheels George Bark in that Chevy Camaro. To his outside, you got the red car, that beautiful red Camaro of Damon Gilbert, number 68. Looking back in the third row, you got the 02. That's your points leader, folks. Looking right at him, Mitchell Reeves, another Southeast Motorsports guy. He's running the blue trim on his car. Matt Clifton's running the green trim around it. But he is your points leader coming in tonight. So keep an eye on him. To his outside, a paint job that always gets me a smile on my face, and hopefully on yours, folks, is Matthew Quick in that 89 Tetrisy Lego-looking cat rainbow car. Always a good thing to see from Matt Quick. As we take a look back at the next row, you have Scott Amy, in that 55 awesome-looking Camaro there. To his outside, you have the 99 of Nick Hunt in that Zloop.com Chevy Camaro. And looking at the next row, another Southeast Motorsports guy, Nick Reynolds in that 54 car. Nick Reynolds, keep an eye on him tonight, folks. He's a guy that definitely can make that draft work for his teammates, so see it time and time again. Keep an eye on him tonight. And to his outside, you will have the number 14 of Mr. Jeff T. Martin, posting that nice-looking Chevy Camaro there. Looking on the inside of the next row, you have Zim Pontes in that Invader Zim car. Quite fitting for his name there. That number 13 car. The outside, you have Mr. Gregory Webb in that 93 General Lee. Interesting looking paint job on that car. Well done. And that's an Apache Graphics Race Design paint car, folks. So if you're looking for a paint scheme, loose lug nuts is John Hedrick. Apache Graphics Race Designs, Ed Whittington, does a good job as well. And looking back here is Ryan Eckstein in that number 22 Wrangler car. And I believe Dustin Lee, the guy 1 point back, is going to start the backfield with Olive Hill Welding. So that's your 51. That guy battling Mitch Reeves. Mitchell Reeves is running in 5th place right going into this start of the race, excuse me. So a lot of good racing action coming your way, folks. Want to thank you for tuning in here tonight to the All Pro Broadcast Network. We're going to be set to go green here on this 4th race of a 5-race, all-in points, dash for cash, $50 grand prize. Everything these guys do gets some points. And we're getting ready to go green here. You're going to see that Mustang pace car in the front stretch here drop into the pits, and we'll be set to go green here on this 4th race. Matt Clifton, Raymond Rittenauer taking us green. Here we go. Green flag is out. And already Matt Clifton moves out to a sizable lead over Raymond Rittenauer, making that low groove work for him as he makes his way down the front stretch here. What a move it is. Everybody off to a clean start. Nerves tend to be high as these drivers go into this race, and we usually see an accident, but not here tonight. Everybody looks like they're finally settling into their positions as they make their way around turn 2 into the backstretch. Matt Clifton, your race leader. And as we look at Matthew Quick and Damon Gilbert trying to make that middle groove work, see as they catch up. That's what I was trying to tell you, folks. That middle groove is going to catch up on this front stretch, but watch as they go into the corner, and watch that lower groove just make it work for them. What a side-by-side action. Some 3 wide there coming out of the turn into the front stretch. Damien Gilbert making that high groove, trying to work for him. Matthew Quick now making a move through the field, making that middle groove work as he goes through the field now, contesting Matt Clifton and Raymond Rittenauer there as they make their way into the front turn. Look at these guys move with that bump draft action. And that folks, there is, you've never understood what happens in NASCAR. That's what you want. You want a partner on your bumper to get that airflow to move right around your car, so that way you're able to get faster. And that's why you see Matthew Quick here moving up the field. In the front stretch, that middle groove working for him. But as we see them come into the turn, Matt Clifton's going to pull ahead a little bit. And when they get out in that front stretch, there goes Matthew Quick. He's getting side by side with them now. As they cross the start-finish line, 3 laps into the books of this 50-lap race, Matthew Quick and Matt Clifton, 2 Matts in the front, battling for first position here at Daytona. Nick Hunt also on the move now. He is sitting in about 3rd position with Raymond Rittenauer falling back to 4th. Jeff T. Martin moving up to 5th. He qualified 10th, now 5th in the field. He's already halved his moves 3 laps into this race. These guys are running about 25% fuel, so there will be at least 1 pit stop they'll need to make. If it's not on a caution, they'll be about the halfway point of the race. You'll see these guys dip into the pits to get some fuel. Definitely won't be needing tires here tonight. But right now, the man on the move, Matthew Quick, coming up through that middle groove, was able to make it work for him, and he has taken over the lead. Matt Clifton falls into 2nd. Nick Hunt still in 3rd position. Raymond Rittenauer holding out on 4th. Mitchell Reeves rounding out your top 5. Qualified 5th. He's still sitting 5th. He is your points leader coming into this race tonight. And as they make their way down the front stretch, we see some good racing action going on up front. Matt Quick, Matt Clifton battling it out for first position. And look at that 3 wide action. They're up top. Got Amy trying to do what he can. And here comes Zim Pontes moving up the field now. Right there by Mr. Amy. And look at Raymond Rittenauer trying to hold off Nick Reynolds. Nick Reynolds wants to get up there with Matt Clifton to be able to move him through the field. Matt Quick still on that lower groove. And as we come into the turn, there's going to be a little bit more side-by-side action. Drivers trying to do what they can to be able to move through this field, making it work for them. They got to get something going on. They got to get these points. This is the next to the last race. We will be at Talladega next week, folks, for our season or series conclusion race, if I could get that word out. And we got a caution coming out, folks. There's an accident moving in. 5 laps into the books, and our first caution comes out here at Daytona. And it looks like Mitchell Reeves may have been involved in that one. That's your points leader, folks. I don't know if he got loose or got some contact, but I don't know exactly what happened. We'll have to take a look at the replay to see what happened. And it looks like Jeff T. Martin got into the back of Mitchell Reeves, and man, does he go spinning up into the wall, collects a few other cars with him, and makes his way down underneath the yellow line. Tough break for Mitchell Reeves there. Wow, already in this race, and his car is looking like it's pretty banged up. I don't know if he's going to be able to finish. Tough break for him, 5 laps into this race. We're going to see if we can get Mitchell Reeves on the horn here, since he is your points leader. Mitchell Reeves, this is Dustin Caldwell in the booth. You got me there, buddy?
Yeah, I got you.
My goodness, what an unfortunate event for you. 5 laps into this race, and it looks like your car's taking some pretty big damage. Any word from the crew chief on what the situation is for you?
Well, we're getting our faster fair, but I really hate to get rid of it this early in the race. We were working good there on the outside. It was me, Matt, and Jeff, some teammates, and I don't know if Jeff just pushed too hard or there was some lag there, but he turned me square around going down the back stretch. Don't really have an answer why that happened, though.
Yeah, definitely. I know the nerves definitely got to be heightened for you tonight coming into tonight's race, leading the series in points with Dustin Lee not too far behind. But right now, Dustin Lee is looking like he may have dropped out of the race. I'm not seeing him register right now. I'll have to talk to race control on that. But anybody you want to give a shout-out while we got you on the horn here?
Oh, yeah, give a huge shout-out to Apache Designs for putting on this whole series, Michelangelo's painting, Dan Stop Not Cheating, everybody that's helped out All-Pro here in the last couple of weeks, put on some awesome races. And hopefully we'll have a good race to come.
Anything we should look out for, or you want to tell the viewers to look out for tonight in tonight's race?
Definitely the outside. Already evident that Daytona's it's going to be the outside place to be. Going to be a lot of tight racing, and I really feel like a big one's coming again, maybe 1 or 2 before the end of this race.
Well, we'll have to see about next week as well, being at Talladega. That's known for a big one there. Well, good luck to you, Mitchell, and hopefully you can get back into this race with only 5 or 6 laps into this race.
Thanks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from the points leader himself. The high groove, middle high groove is where it's going to be tonight. So that's what you're going to want to keep an eye on. It looks like Matthew Quick made a move to that earlier in this race. First couple laps, he was able to come through the field and get up into the top position. He qualified 6th and is now currently sitting as your race leader here on lap 7 of this 50-lap race at Daytona. And as Mitchell Reeves was given a shout-out, we always like to give a shout-out to our sponsors, Apache Graphics and Race Designs. That's Ed Whittington. He also designed our website. I want to give that a shout-out as well. Take a look at our website, folks, www.all-pro-racing.com. That's where you can find all of our series events and everything going on if you want to see where the point standings are or what races we have coming up. If you're an iRacer and want to get in on the action, that's a good place to start. Check us out on our website. That website link again is www.all-pro-racing.com. Find us on Facebook if you are a Facebook guy or girl and love to share your status. Check us out there. We got a good Facebook page going on. That's All Pro Racing. You can find us there on Facebook. And Ed Whittington at Apache Graphics and Race Design was the designer of that website, so give him a good shout-out. He's got a lot of good things going on trading paints. If you are not an iRacer and just love tuning into our broadcast here on the All Pro Broadcast Network, these custom designs you have here, that you see here, come from a third-party site known as TradingPaints.com, where independent people can put together paint schemes and run these custom paints that are not provided exactly in the game. Paints are provided, but they're pretty basic. So some of these cool paint jobs that you're seeing, these custom jobs that are done by guys like Ed Whittington and John Hedrick of Over the Top Design and Paints. John Hedrick is a race series sponsor, and we want to give him a shout-out as well. That's Over the Top Designs and Paints. He's on Facebook, and I believe Trading Paints, you can find him under his alias Loose Lugnuts. And we are now 8 laps into this 50-lap race here. We are on race number 4 of 5. We'll be at our our concluding race next week. Apologize here, folks. I had a root beer float before I started this broadcast. One thing they had to tell me to get, it was when I come down here to Daytona, they always say, get a root beer float. These great ones at the track. So, and we'll take a look at Mitchell Reeves now falling into his 9th position. He was battling up there in the 3rd, 4th slot. Will be falling back to 9th didn't go a lap down. He was able to get his quick refresh. That's one of the options that they offer here in iRacing is a quick refresh. So these cars can come down and get instantly repaired. It all depends upon what league runs it and what options are there. And we here at All Pro tend to do that and give everybody an option because we are forgiving, knowing that accidents do happen, and definitely want to give people the option to get back in the race. And as we see now here on lap 9, some guys taking advantage of this pitting. You see George Bark making a move, Damon Gilbert, Mitchell Reeves now sitting in pits. Damon Gilbert's now making his way out, and George Bark, oh, they are taking some tires. A little bit of 2-tire action going on, 4-tire action going on for George Bark and Mitchell Reeves. Plenty of time to do it this early in the race. They're going to get a good refresh on those tires. But Matthew Quick and Matthew Clifton, 2 Matts in the front. Definitely going to see some good battling action here, and the lights are off that iRacing Mustang, so we will be going green here as they make their way down the front stretch. So right now, currently they are on the back stretch. I do apologize for that. They are on the back stretch, getting ready to go around turn 3. And one thing you'll notice at Daytona, just like at Talladega, these super speedways don't tend to have their start-finish lines on the straightaway. They are on a turn. It's just they feel they could get more viewers on the track in front of the action there by putting it on a turn rather than during an actual straightaway. So as they make their way down, Matt Quick will be having the lower groove over Matt Clifton, but like Mitchell Reeves said, that middle groove is where it's at. So Matt Clifton may shoot out as they head into turn 1. See what Matt Quick can do to defend that first position, because he will be taking us back green here. So they are coming down the front stretch right now, ladies and gentlemen. They will be going green. Lap 9 going into lap 10. That 89 of Matthew Quick taking us green. Here we go. Green flag is out, and Matthew Quick and Matt Clifton have taken us back green here at Daytona. Lap number 10 is in the books. We'll see what they got going on. Look at him move. That lower groove is pulling out for Matt Quick now. He is moving ahead, but don't look too fast, because right now, Matt Clifton making a move. Getting some bump from there from Jeff T. Martin, his teammate. And look at him move through that field. As they make their way into the back stretch, Matt Quick is holding them off, doing what he can to maintain that position over Raymond Rittenauer right there on the bump. And look at that pack, closely packed in there as they get ready to head into turn 3. And a little bit of spacing now to give everybody some breathing room as they make their way into the turn. Matt Quick, Raymond Rittenauer right there on his bumper, pushing him out to the lead. But here it comes as they make their way into straightaway, that middle groove. Matt Clifton on the move right now. And also a guy back there, that 54 of Nicholas Reynolds. And look at that spacing. Almost paved the way for Nicholas Reynolds to move up there. Jeff T. Martin trying to give his teammate the push in that middle groove as they make their way around, coming onto the backstretch now. Lap 11 of this 50-lap race. They are side by side in the backstretch. Matt Clifton. You get 2 Matts with the similar last names, you're bound to mess it up. And Jeff T. Martin has to go up to the high side. I think a little bit of air got loose with him when I believe that's the number 7 car. Excuse me, the 55. Oh, it's way off on that number. But there they go, side-by-side action, and look at the spacing as they make their way into the turn. And now Matt Clifton getting a push. Will the spotter give him the clear? Here they come. No, he does not get the clear from the spotter, and he will be falling back. Raymond Rittenauer and Matthew Quick making that low groove look like it's the place to be. But how long will they be able to keep it? Now, just to keep in mind, as we went back green, 8 laps into this race, everybody was taking tires, so we'll have to see how that pans out for some of these other drivers. 8 laps. If you happen to be a NASCAR fan and was watching the race on Sunday, you can see how quickly it can come down to a half a lap. So every move that these guys make does play a critical point, especially in this series when they have points that they're trying to accumulate to win that $50 grand prize here at the end of next week's race. We are on lucky lap 13 here, and Matthew Quick still making that lower groove work for him as he's pushing ahead. Matt Clifton, Jeff T. Martin up there in that middle group want that lead so bad. Look at them as they're about ready to head into turn 3. Raymond Rittenauer trying to get up there. Give Matthew Quick a push. You have the 55 of Scott Amy. He's right there with them. And Zim Ponte is back there. He's trying to invade, like his car says. I'm Invader Zim. He's trying to invade that front pack. And look at that move. Look at the move over Zim Ponte's. Wow, Scott Amy. He tried to make it come up and work, but was not able to do so as they headed into the turn 4. And look how close this battle is up front between the two Matts. Quick is the car. And oh, Matt Clifton coming down on Matt Quick. I think he just wanted that lead, and he said, you're going to have to check up. Matt Quick said, I don't think so. And look here on lap 14, folks. We have our second caution of the night. We'll have to take a look at the replay here and see what I believe exactly saw happen. And then hopefully you saw it as well. As they were coming down the straightaway, Matt Quick was just enough to nip the edge of Matt Clifton in that Southeast Motorsports number 20 car. I don't know if the spotter gave the clear. If they did, it was a bad call on the spotter for that number 20 car, because he tried to come down and take the lead over Matt Quick, and unfortunately caused our second caution here tonight. And it looks like, you know, the number 9 got caught up. Jeff T. Martin and Nicholas Reynolds. I believe that was Nicholas Reynolds. That 54 car was able to escape that. Looks like the 99. So two other Southeast Motorsports guys are going to the front of the pack here. See Zim Pontes get involved in that. A lot of racers are collected, but they do, if they have not used their refresh already, like we mentioned before, they do get a quick refresh. So hopefully they won't fall a lap down here 14 laps into the race. Alrighty, let's see if we could get Mr. Quick on the line here. Matthew Quick, this is Dustin Caldwell in the booth. Are you there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm here.
What an unfortunate event for you. I don't think Matt Clifton's spotter had too good of depth perception on that one. Probably gave him the all clear. He tried to come down and take the lead from you, fortunately causing the second caution here tonight. Your thoughts on the race so far?
Yeah, it was pretty good so far. I mean, it just proves that there's not a safe place anywhere as I hit the wall there. And I don't know. It was pretty clean for a while.
Taking a look at the back end of your car on that replay, it looks like that angry cat face went to a little bit of a sad cat face. I mean, you're doing an excellent job. I was watching you move through the field early on in this race and was able to take the lead. I know you coming into tonight's race, you're in 14th spot. Anything that you guys are trying to do differently tonight than you've done in the previous races?
I think it's the same goal, try to stay away from the wrecks. It doesn't matter if you're in front, middle, or end, it's going to find you somehow, some way. So, I mean, it's just trying to keep I don't know, run your race, I don't know, and have some luck on your side.
Yeah, it always takes a little bit of lady luck on your side, definitely for sure, to avoid some of that action. It looks like Lady Luck found Jeff T. Martin and another Southeast Motorsports guy, Nick Reynolds. So that looks like they're going to be going to the front as the front two. So teammates will be taking over the front. Mr. Matthew Quick, want to say thank you for giving us your time. Hopefully you can get back into this race here tonight.
Yeah, I got that quick repair, but I think I'm going to save it for a little bit, see what happens.
All right, well, best of luck to you, buddy, in the remaining laps of this race.
Thanks, bud.
Well, that was Matthew Quick in that number 89 Tetra C Angry Cat car. Always a good laugh to see that car. Guy, that is his own design paint job that he's done himself. He said in previous races I had a chance to interview him that his goal was to give everybody a good laugh. Wanted to be something different on the field, and he definitely achieves it with that 89 car and that Angry Cat Tetra C looking car. But as we talk about paint designs, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors as always. Apache Graphics and Race Designs. They are a race series sponsor. That's Ed Whittington. You can find Apache Graphics and Race Designs on Facebook by looking up that exact name. You can also find them on Trading Paints. He's got a lot of good paint schemes. As I mentioned, Greg Webb's car is an Apache Graphics Race Design car. And if you want to check it out on our website of All Pro Racing is www.all-pro-racing.com, or check us out on Facebook, All Pro Racing as well. John Hedrick, another name well mentioned, otherwise known as, or AKA, Loose Lug Nuts. He does over-the-top designs and paints. The guy does a lot of good, excellent paint jobs. He's also another series sponsor for us here in All Pro Racing. Want to give him a good shout out and see a lot of good things that he does over there on Trading Paints, so you can also check that out. If you are in the Mesa, Arizona area and are looking for some good paint work to be done, Michelangelo's Painting is a great company to check out. They do some excellent things and excellent paint work for your house, whatever it may be that needs to be painted. You can check these guys out. That's Michelangelo's Painting. And finally, our final sponsor, Dan's Top Notch Heating and Cooling. He's sponsored a lot of series here on All Pro, and we always want to give Mr. Danny Rudy a shout out and a thank you for his sponsorship to the All Pro Racing here. And that's Dan's Top Notch Heating and Cooling. So we are 17 laps into the books here of this 50-lap race here tonight at Daytona. This is the 4th race of a 5-race all-in points dash for cash $50 grand prize in the Xfinity cars. That's the Mustangs and Camaros battling out. Old muscle car rivalry for all you older folks who may have been around in the 60s and 70s when muscle cars were the thing. Mustangs and Camaros were the two cars that everybody wanted to battle against, and good thing you're getting to see it battle here tonight in these Xfinity cars. So the top 5 points or race standings as we look at it now, heading back to green here, will be Nick Reynolds in that 54 car, Southeast Motorsports. He is going to be taking us back to green. He is your race leader, followed by George Barr. Jeff T. Martin may have made a pit maneuver there, and definitely getting around to that fuel limit. So yeah, he probably pulled into the pits. So George Bark in the 100 Hot Wheels will be in second position. In third, you got the 51 of Dustin Lee. He is the guy that is in the number 2 slot of this series in points. Just 1 point off of Mitchell Reeves coming in tonight. And currently he is sitting in third position at lap 18. In fourth position, you got the 02 of Mitchell Reeves. Mitchell Reeves, your race leader. Now I'm telling you folks, you got the number 1 and number 2 series leaders, or points, leaders coming in tonight. And they're now side by side. So we're going to have to see how this pans out between these two drivers, because definitely the pressure will be on when they are side by side. And in looking in fifth position now, the 68 of Damon Gilbert in that red car. He is your top 5, rounds out the field of the top 5 here on lap 18 of this 50-lap race here tonight. And as you take a look at the grandstand and look at the sky, you will notice it is partly cloudy out there tonight. It was 72 degrees. As we go back green, Nick Reynolds taking us back green. George Bark making the move with Damon Gilbert there to help him. And wow, look at that middle groove work. We'll have to see if he goes into the lower groove or maintains that middle groove with Damon Gilbert there to help him move. But right now, we see the 54 of Nick Reynolds making a move up the lower groove. And as they make their way on the straightaway, look at that high groove go. 168. That's 2 cars, George Bark, Damon Gilbert, pulling away now. And able to get out a comfortable lead over the 51 there of Dustin Lee. But look at Dustin Lee. What a move! Dustin Lee now pushing Damon Gilbert through that and leaving George Bark high and dry. But here comes Nick Reynolds now in the 54 going around George Bark, being pushed by number 20 Matt Clifton, and we're getting a little bit of hang up here. Look at them go. Look at this draft action go. My goodness. This is what you want to see on a super speedway, folks. And look at them go. Nick Reynolds getting pushed by Matt Clifton up in front of Damon Gilbert and Dustin Lee. My goodness. Draft, where's that? But look, people swapping around these grooves trying to find their fast spot. And right now, Damon Gilbert and Dustin Lee go down to the lower groove right behind Nick Reynolds, leaving Matt Clifton up there, but George Bark now trying to make his move up there. And Matt Clifton is going to be falling back because he does not have anybody to help him in the draft. But as they make their way around this, watch the straightaway. That middle groove is going to catch up with the lower grooves. You should see Matt Clifton start to move up towards Nick Reynolds. George Bark knows this, and he's trying to make his way up there. But look at Nick Reynolds go. He has got pushed right to the front. And that's a guy that definitely can find the draft, folks. You watch him week in and week out. That's a guy who could definitely find the draft and work with other teammates to push them to the front, let alone get pushed up to the front himself. Top 5 as we are on lap 21, almost at the halfway point of this 50-lap race. Nick Reynolds, Damon Gilbert, Matt Clifton, Dustin Lee, and George Bark. Right the front 5. And look at Matt Clifton now, middle groove, working for him. Gets up there side by side. And here comes the 99 of Nick Hunt. And that's Loop.com car being pushed by Jeff T. Martin. They're making it work. But look, as you can see there, starting to fall off. Matt Clifton falling back behind Damon Gilbert into 3rd place. Nick Reynolds still working it. Damon Gilbert right on his bumper. Dustin Lee right there with Nick Hunt on the outside. And George Bark right there behind. As I mentioned, folks, this is the 4th race of the 5-race series that we have here. We have a couple other race series going on. On Monday nights, if you're an open wheel fan, we have the Silver Crown Series at a lot of super speedways going on. And on Thursday nights, we also have Cadillacs. If you ever drive one of these Cadillac CTS race cars, they are amazing cars, can handle really well. And we got them on super speedways and on road courses. So if you are a fan of both the oval and of the road course, you get a little bit of blend in that series. But do stop on by our website, and that's www.all-pro-racing.com to find out all that action there on our website. And as we look now, the Southeast Motorsports guys on the lower groove, that 54 of Nick Reynolds, followed by number 20, Matt Clifton, getting contested by Dustin Lee and Damon Gilbert in that red 68. Take a look here. Mitchell Reeves appears that he has fallen back a little bit. He has now gone 1 lap down in this race. He is your points series points leader coming into tonight. Dustin Lee is right there 1 point off, so if he's able to hold on at least get 4th, that should shoot him into the lead unless Damon Gilbert finishes first. A lot of good close points battles here between these 3 drivers. Damon Gilbert definitely wants to get as far ahead as he can. That's why you see him being pushed by the 51 of Dustin Lee. I think they're working in tandem, trying to do what they can to get ahead of these Southeast Motorsports boys on the lower groove there. Jeff T. Martin now, that's a 3rd Southeast Motorsports guy moving up there. So you got 3 teammates on the lower groove working together. And some of these other guys don't necessarily have a teammate, and they're just got to kind of battle up together, or else they're going to get way behind when it comes to the draft game. So as they make their way down the backstretch there, you see the 54 of Nick Reynolds being contested up top by Damon Gilbert, side by side with Matt Clifton. The 51 of Dustin Lee now falling back behind George Bark as Jeff T. Martin moves ahead of Damon Gilbert. And I think that was a strategy move there by Nick Reynolds to move up and slow that upper draft. Give his teammate Matt Clifton and Jeff T. Martin the go-ahead to get around everybody. Lap 26, we are now past the halfway point of this 50-lap race here tonight, folks. And if you're just tuning in, I want to thank you for tuning in to the All-Pro Broadcast Network. I'm Dustin Caldwell, and on cameras is Michael D'Amico. We are at race number 4 of a 5-race series. This is a super speedway series using the Xfinity cars, Mustangs and Camaros, or better known as the B cars. They're racing here tonight. As everybody's kind of just doing their thing, we want to go over here to our Twitch TV channel, give a shout out to our viewers over here. I'm going to type in a good hello to everyone. Give our viewers a good shout out over there. Want to thank Raising Cane there. Ed Whittington's in the channel. That's Apache Graphics and Race Designs. That's one of our series sponsors. He's over there in the Twitch channel. Always good to give him a good shout out. All Pro Racing saying a good hello to everybody. And now the 54 of Nick Reynolds caught a little bit of wall up there, and he's going to fall back with some damage right there behind Dustin Lee, that 51. May have gotten a little bit loose there, or something happened with him. It doesn't look like it's going to be too much damage, just enough to get him away from the front of the pack. So as we look here on lap 27, going into lap 28 of this 50-lap race, Damon Gilbert now contesting Matt Clifton for the lead, followed by George Bart and the 51 of Dustin Lee. Jeff T. Martin right there in 5th. Nick Reynolds now falling back to 6th. Greg Webb's there on him. Greg Webb, a guy that, if you watched any of our series, this guy can find his way through the pack. He will surprise you towards the end. Not really much of an aggressive driver out the gate, but as the race progresses and he gets going, he does seem to find his way to the front at the most critical points of the race, and that's towards the end. So keep your eye on that number 93 car. That is an Apache Graphics Race Design paint job on that beautiful number 93, as he's getting pushed by his buddy Ryan Eckstein in that 22 Wrangler car over Nick Reynolds. Nick Reynolds there was leading the race not too long ago, now falls back into 7th position as they cross the start-finish line here on lap 29. Damon Gilbert, though, able to take the lead over Matt Clifton. Matt Clifton doesn't have but Jeff T. Martin, his only teammate up there. And as you see George Bart, Dustin Lee, and Damon Gilbert working together, taking the lower group from Matt Clifton and moving out ahead of the lead, respectively. As they come around, you can see definitely that good draft, bump draft going on by that 100 to the 68. You've been seeing it all night here, folks, at Daytona. George Bart working with Damon Gilbert. And as Dustin Lee approaches now, I don't know if George Bart's trying to give him the go around or what's going on. Maybe he's getting a little bit loose from that air. As they get close, think of a bubble. When you see these cars get around each other, it seems kind of funny to say, but there's like a bubble or pocket of air, and the closer they get, that's why you see these cars tend to shake a little bit, is because that air is just moving around them. And as you can see George Bart in that 100, as Dustin Lee's trying to make some moves, they tend to sway back and forth because the air's getting moved around them. And I want to say, hey, Ed, good shout out there over on the Twitch channel. Apologize, I missed that earlier. Yeah, Mr. Ed over there in the Twitch channel. I'm going to give him a good type over here and say hello to him. Good guy, does a lot of good stuff. He designed, as I mentioned earlier, he designs he's the head up of Apache Graphics and Race Designs, their race series sponsor. And he designs our website, and we want you definitely to check that out. If you're an iRacer or just interested in getting into iRacing, check out our website. It got all that useful information as well as our sponsors' links on our website. That's www.all-pro-racing.com. And you can find us on Facebook if you're not much for typing in website addresses, just a little bit lethargic and just love Facebook and for all it does. You can find us at All Pro Racing. So as we hit the lap 31 here, you're going to see a bunch of guys pitting into the pits now. That is Damon Gilbert leading everybody into the pits. George Bart there right on him. And I believe Dustin Lee as well will go into the pits. So this is where the chess match begins, folks. The strategy of how much can I make my fuel work for me. This should be able to get him with it, pending no cautions, which we do now have one out. Speaking of, looks like the 13 car of Zim Pontes may have gotten loose and went up into the wall. He was 13, as we see him coming down there, getting ready to go back up onto the track, got a little bit loose. Maybe some touch with the grass there, and as he goes up into the turn, just snaps and goes right into the wall. Tough break for that guy. Zim Pontes, everybody, the number 13 Invader Sim car. And man, people have to try to do what they can to avoid him there. So, pivotal caution comes out, allowing everybody now to caution. So, the guys that were cautioning under the green flag, that's Dustin Lee, George Bart, and Damon Gilbert, will more than likely be resuming the top positions here. Jeff T. Martin and Matt Clifton will have to look to make a pit, I believe, coming up. While we are cautioning here, we're going to take a brief moment in time here to go to a commercial break. When we come back, we'll see what we got for you here, folks. We are 33 laps into this 50-lap race, number 4 of a 5-race series, $50 Dash for Cash grand prize. We'll be back after this. And welcome back here to Daytona this evening, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the All-Pro Broadcast Network. I'm Dustin Caldwell, and on cameras is Michael D'Amico, and what a race it's turning out to be here, folks. We're about to be 35 laps in the books with 15 to go here tonight of this 50-lap race. And right now, it looks like as they make their way down the front stretch, we're going to have race control reset the positioning, but I believe Jeff T. Martin had the lead before everybody started the pit series on this third caution of the night. And right now, it looks like the top rundown as we see. Race control finally gets it figured out, folks. The top 5 as it stands right now is the number 93 of Greg Webb, the guy I was telling you about earlier. Tends to find his way to the front of the pack at the most crucial points of the race. Runs silent. He's like a submarine, folks. He runs silent till he needs to be, and then he becomes deadly at the end. That's Greg Webb in that number 93 car, making his way to the front. Right behind him, or to his outside going back green, will be the 22 of Ryan Eckstein in that yellow and blue Wrangler car. Behind them, you have the number 2 man of the series in points. That's Dustin Lee in that 51 Olive Hill Welding. He's going to try to do what he can to accumulate some more points here tonight, because it looks like Mitchell Reeves has fallen now back. He's now back on the lead lap, but he is in the 12th position here as we get ready to go back green. So, following Dustin Lee is the number 68 of Damon Gilbert, a guy who's definitely been making the draft work for him this evening, in that 68 red Camaro. He's got his buddy behind him, number 100 of George Bart. That guy and Damon working together, I'm telling you, these guys can move to the front pretty quick. But we'll have to see how it plays out here with 15 to go in this race. And as we take a look down here, still see the lights on that pace car. So I believe we'll have at least one more lap before we head back green. I want to give a shout out to our sponsors here. That is Apache Graphics and Race Designs, Ed Whittington. I want to thank for all the things he does. He's designed the All-Pro website. He designs Greg Webb's paint job here on his car and some other cars to mention. I want to give a shout out to Over the Top Designs and Paints. That's Mr. John Hedrick. He's always been a good series sponsor, and he races in the Silver Crown. He runs that number 5 Red Bull car. That's his own design paints, and it's excellent looking paint job on that car. You can see that series on Monday night. If you are in the Mesa, Arizona region and are looking for some paint work to be done, Michelangelo's Painting is definitely the business you want to check out. That's Mr. Michael D'Amico, our camera guy. If you like his camera work, I can promise you that his paint is about 1,000 times better. We always love the work that he does on the camera here in the All Pro Broadcast Network. So, and then Dan's Top Notch Heating and Cooling, want to give them a shout out as well. I apologize, Mr. Danny Rudy, I kind of missed you there, but Dan's Top Notch Heating and Cooling does sponsor a lot of series for us, and we always appreciate his sponsorship, and he does race in the Silver Crown. So you get to see some sponsors battling it out. I think Ed Whittington even gets into the Silver Crown, so it's always neat to see when our sponsors come out and actually battle in our series. So check out our Silver Crown series. They'll be in their 5th race next Monday night. So as we make our way around turn 3, getting ready to go back green, we do see the lights off that Mustang iRacing pace car. They are pacing around 80 miles an hour, as I mentioned earlier in the race. Greg Webb on that inside groove to his outside. Ryan Eckstein, followed by Damon Gilbert in the second pack with George Bark, Dustin Lee, Nick Reynolds, Jeff T. Martin, Raymond Rittenauer the second, Matt Clifton, Nick Hunt, Matt Quick, Mitchell Reeves, all on the lead lap. And it looks like Zim Pontes will go 3 laps down. Unfortunately, the guy that brought out the 3rd caution here tonight. So here goes the pace car as they get ready to go green on lap 37 of this 50-lap race. And look at the push already from George Bark to Ryan Eckstein, getting the move out, but Damon Gilbert's on the bumper of Greg Webb, but George Bark is able to get Ryan Eckstein out ahead of Greg Webb. Now, I know Ryan Eckstein, and we got a caution already. We have a caution, our 4th caution of the night. It looks like the 99 of Nick Hunt got pushed around, I believe, by Matt Quick. We'll have to take a look at that replay here, folks. And, yep, there you go, the 89 into the 99. I don't think Matt Quick liked that extra 10 digits on Nick Hunt's car and pushed that Zloop.com car right around, bringing out our 4th caution here tonight. So we'll have to see how this plays out. Ryan Eckstein was able to get around and assume the lead before the caution came out, so he will be taking us back green. Greg Webb was the number 2 man. A little bit of a position change here for the lead. We'll have to see if, I don't believe we should see anybody pitting this time around. Everybody kind of pitted earlier in the 3rd caution, so with about 12 laps to go, I don't believe we'll see, unless there's some heavy damage, they need to do a refresh or get a little bit of extra fix on their car. I don't believe we'll see too many people be heading into the pits. But we are 38 laps, 12 to go in the books. I'm going to see if we can pull Mr. Greg Webb here on the horn here, and we'll see what he's got to say about his position in the race. Greg Webb, this is Dustin Caldwell in the booth. Are you there, buddy?
Yeah, go ahead.
What a move. I'll tell you, I got a nickname for you tonight, Greg. I'm calling you the Submarine because, man, you are silent and deadly when it comes to it. I mean, you're not a guy that's too flamboyant or aggressive on the track until it needs to be, and as we see in the later half of this race, you're making a move for the front, trying to secure that win. How do you feel about tonight's race?
Tonight's race went it's been going pretty good tonight. Yeah, we just kind of riding around there, letting all the action take place, and then try to be here at the end there and see what we got.
Well, I heard you have a special buddy riding shotgun with you, a little good luck charm. You want to say anything about that?
Oh yeah, Enos, he's over here holding on, just raising all sorts of cane.
Well, there you go. He's Greg Webb and his little luck charm Enos. You have to ask him about it, folks. We implore you to stop in. Check out our website, www.all-pro-racing.com, to find out our TeamSpeak information. If you want to find out about Greg Webb and his special little friend Enos, you can do that here on TeamSpeak. But Greg, anybody you want to give a quick shout out to here while we got you on the horn?
Oh yeah, I'd like to give a quick shout out to All Pro Ed. He could be here tonight for the paint scheme I'm running, and just everybody involved with this organization here. It's a good place to race, fun to be with.
Well, there you go, folks. A man of elegant words and of elegant racecraft. That's Greg Webb. Thank you much, buddy, and appreciate it, and good luck to you in the rest of this race.
I appreciate it. Have a good one.
You too, buddy. All right, folks, we are south to be back around 10 laps to go in this race. Lap 39, making our way around, everybody trying to keep those tire coolest while you see them dipping below the yellow line. They want to definitely get all they can out of these tires with 10 laps to go, because it's going to come down to critical moves, every move they make is going to play a factor into the points that they're going to receive when this race ends here tonight. Like I said, next week it'll be race number 5, the conclusion of this 5-race series. All in, dash for cash points, $50 grand prize. That's a tongue twister if I ever heard one. $50 grand prize for everybody in this race that is participating. I just want to let you guys know that we do give out cash prizes to our race competitors. So that's one thing we do here. We get a lot of good sponsors in there that put some good funds available for cash payouts in these series. So we will be awarding $50 to the race, or the points, overall points winner come the end of the race next week at Talladega. Another thing I want to give a good mention here while we have the time, All Pro is going to be looking to do some t-shirts, bumper stickers, and other types of swag and garb. You want to get, we'll be giving out trophies, possibly t-shirts and such, to our series leader or winners as they conclude. So it's a little way of saying good job and thanks, and you know, you get the all pro support of that as well. So just get some word here from the producer, folks. A little bit of an update here. We are going to be offering some decals, some all-pro racing decals that you are able to put on your car. Simple $25 donation to the All-Pro League, so we are able to do all these awesome races that we put on for you. $25 donation gets you this decal that you can put on your car. The same one that you're going to be seeing on an actual, I believe it's, got to talk to the producers. What series? So if you are a fan of the real Xfinity series, the actual Xfinity series, the one that they race here that you see sometimes on the Fridays and Saturday nights, Garrett Smithley has been a man to mention in a lot of our races that he's done here on the All Pro Racing Network. He is going to be racing in that, and we're actually going to have an All Pro decal on that car, and we'll be giving all those away for a $25 donation. We'll mail it directly to your house, I'm being told, and you can take part in that and support the All Pro Racing Series. So if you are interested in making a donation or excited to get one of those decals, we do have the donation button at the bottom of our Twitch channel, so check it out. You're watching this broadcast, scroll down and look at that donation button. We appreciate all the donations we can get, so we're able to put on these great racing action and this great racing series here on the All Pro Broadcast Network. We are on lap 41, set to be going with 8 to go as we go back green. Ryan Eckstein is your race leader heading back into the 42nd lap. On his outside, you got the 100 of George Bark, followed by Greg Webb, that 93 in third position. To his outside will be the 54 of Nick Reynolds. And then we got Damon Gilbert and Raymond Rittenauer in the next pack behind. Dustin Lee, Jeff T. Martin in the pack following that. That'll be rounding out your top 8. Extending into the top 10, going one more pack back, you got Matt Clifton and Mitchell Reeves as well. Mitchell Reeves, your series points leader. Dustin Lee is ahead of him in this race. We'll have to see how that pans out, because those are number 1, number 2, respectively, coming into tonight's race. And we'll be seeing the pace car coming around this turn here now. They'll be set to go green. Ryan Eckstein in that 22, blue Wrangler Camaro. Blue and yellow, excuse me, Wrangler Camaro will be taking the pace back to green with 8 to go. Make their way down the front stretch. Here we go, folks. 8 to go. We're going to see Ryan Eckstein, George Bark. Green flag is out. 8 to go as they start to cross the start-finish line. And already Nicholas Reynolds in that 54 Southeast Motorsports making George Bark push ahead of Ryan Eckstein in that middle groove. And you can see he wants to move. He wants to make that move to take the lead. And Greg Webb now trying to give his buddy Ryan Eckstein some help. And these guys now settling in. George Bark able to take the lead over Ryan Eckstein. And a little bit of bump coming into the backstretch. A little bit of bump, trying to settle it in, trying to find their pockets in the draft. want to be able to get as many points as they can. That's why you're going to see some aggressive moves being made here in these final laps. We are on lap 42 of 50 in this 50-lap race, number 4 of 5 in this $50 grand prize series. And look at the move there by Ryan Eckstein getting on the bumper of George Bart. And if you look to the top now, you have the 54 of Nick Reynolds, Raymond Rittenauer the second, right there, right behind him in that number 9. But look out, here comes Damon Gilbert and Dustin Lee. Two guys have been with each other all night, trying to get that lower groove to work for them as well. Jeff T. Martin is right up there beside Dustin Lee. Oh, and Jeff T. Martin goes into the wall. And we're going to have a bump. I got to see what to see on a replay who Jeff T. Martin collected in that accident. But we do not have a caution. The pack pulled away. I'm going to take a look here for myself, folks, and see who looks like the 0-2 of Mitchell Reeves. Matt Clifton was close to that, but he got away. Matt Quick. So Matt Quick, Mitchell Reeves, and Jeff T. Martin get dumped there on that accident, but no caution drawn. But now we do have a caution. As we're talking about one, here comes another. My goodness. We're not even at Talladega yet, folks, and we already had two big ones right in a row. And wow, looks like Nick Reynolds got collected on that one. He is, wow, he's roof up in the grass spinning. As we take a look at the replay, my goodness. Greg Webb, looks like Greg Webb tapped the bumper, and man, did Nick Reynolds get pinballed, and look at him go, tires in the air, spinning for his life. My goodness. Lap 44 of this 50-lap race, folks. That's going to probably put us at a green, maybe green, one lap, white, then checkered. Wow. Fortunate for Nick Reynolds on that accident. Let's see if we can get Nick Reynolds on the horn. I don't know what's going on here, listening to the radio with him and his crew chief. Nick Reynolds, this is Dustin Caldwell in the booth. Are you there, buddy?
What's going on, man?
My goodness, it looks like Greg got a little bit of a quarter panel from you and sent you loose, and wow, did you get ping-pong balled around up there and even landed on your roof and went spinning? It had to be a scary experience for you.
Oh, yeah, man, he said I pinched him down there on the bottom, and him kind of had a few words just then, but I don't know what he's saying. Like he just, I just watched the replay, like he just washed up, getting in the corner and didn't give me no room down there.
Yeah, and man, Raymond Rittenauer getting into the side of you, putting you tire side up, and wow, did you go spinning through that grass. Amazing. It looks like you both went spinning. He was able to stay right side up, but what an unfortunate event for you. How's your crew chief rating the damage on this car?
Oh, yeah, we're done. I don't know what Greg was thinking, man. We still had a couple of laps to go, and he just being impatient, I guess.
Unfortunate events for you to happen this late in the race. Anybody you want to give a shout-out while I got you on the horn here, Nick?
Oh, yeah, D'Amico, he runs a good league. Southeast Motorsports, maybe Mitchell or Jeff or Matt will go take one home for the team.
All righty. Well, sorry to hear what happened to you here tonight, but appreciate your time here in the booth, Nick.
Hey, thank you, Dustin.
All righty, folks. We are 44 laps to go. I believe we do have time for a commercial break. We'll go ahead and take a commercial break. We'll be back after a word from our sponsor. Welcome back here, folks. If you're just tuning in to the All-Pro Broadcast Network, I want to thank you for tuning in here on this Tuesday night, fourth race of 5 race here at Daytona. This is our Superspeedway Xfinity Series $50 Dash for Cash Points Takes It All Grand Prize Series. I'm Dustin Caldwell. On cameras is Michael D'Amico. I want to thank you again for tuning on here tonight. Give a quick shout out on our sponsors. We are, to let you know before we go to our shout out to our sponsors, we are on lap 47, about to be allowed lap 48. So we will be getting a green-white checkered here tonight. What an amazing finish it'll be. Current top 5 was George Bark in that 100 Hot Wheels, followed by 68 of Damon Gilbert, Dustin Lee 51. Dustin Lee is second in points coming into tonight's race, followed by Ryan Eckstein in 4th, and Greg Webb rounds out your top 5 here before we go back green. But I want to give a shout out to our sponsors of this race series. That's Apache Graphics and Race Designs. I want to thank them for all the work and effort that they put into our website and some of these paint schemes that you're seeing on the race cars here tonight. Over the Top Designs and Paints, that's John Hedrick, aka Loose Lugnuts. Does a lot of great things. Check him out on Facebook, Over the Top Design and Paints, as well as on Trading Paints. He's got a lot of good paint schemes over there as well. If you are in the Mesa, Arizona area and are interested in getting some painting work done, check out Michelangelo's Painting. They are an excellent painting organization in the Mesa, Arizona area. And also want to give a shout out to Dan's Top Notch Heating and Cooling. Danny Rudy does a lot of great things for the All-Pro League, and we want to thank him as well for his sponsorship and all that he does for us. So we are on lap 48. We want to be going green on lap 49, folks. Lap 49. What an amazing turn of events it turned out to be tonight. A lot of good lead changes. I believe we had about 7 or 8 lead changes here tonight. 4 cautions. I think it was 4 cautions. 5 cautions here tonight. I'm getting corrected here by the producer. 5 cautions here tonight at Daytona. And man, what an amazing turn of events. Damon Gilbert assuming the inside lane over George Bark will be on the outside, followed by Dustin Lee. Ryan Eckstein will be your front 4 as we get ready to go back green. They are on the back stretch, folks. And if you love super speedway racing, you love the Xfinity cars, and you just love high-tension battles, you're going to be seeing it here with a few laps left to go. Because I'm telling you, folks, this is the type of racing that you pay for when it comes to super speedway racing. May not be quite as exciting as a short track race, but these super speedways offer their own little bit of effort into some excitement, and you definitely will get it here tonight. If you are interested in any of the racing series, check us out on our website, www.all-pro-racing.com. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your taxidermist. Definitely want to check it out. This is a lot of stuff we do here tonight. So there goes the pace car, folks. We will be set to go green on lap 49 of this 50-lap race. Damon Gilbert, George Bark, taking us back green as we cross the start-finish line. 49 laps in the book. Here we go. George Bark out to the lead over Damon Gilbert. And oh, he goes up in the middle groove. Damon Gilbert now takes the lower groove away from George Bark and is now assuming the race lead here on lap 49. And look who's right behind him, the 51 of Dustin Lee. Wow, it doesn't get any closer than this. Dustin Lee, Damon Gilbert up in the front. They're making their way down the back stretch, and here comes George Bark in that middle groove. Wants to try to get it where he can get, but it's going to fall short as they head into the turn. Damon Gilbert now your race leader as he's coming around. We are on lap 49, folks. Here they come. Down the front stretch, Damon Gilbert, Dustin Lee, Ryan Eckstein, and Damon Gilbert still taking it. We got the white flag out. Here we go. 1 lap to go, folks. 1 lap to go. Dustin Lee, Damon Gilbert, and I'm hearing Damon Gilbert let off the gas a little bit. Maybe it has something to do with fuel. But look at this battle. Ryan Eckstein trying to get around. Greg Webb right there behind Dustin Lee. The 100 of George Bark in middle groove. And here comes Matt Clifton. He's right there behind Ryan Eckstein as they make their way down the back stretch. Here they come into the turn. Damon Gilbert and George Bark trying to make a move up on Greg Webb. But look at Damon Gilbert, Dustin Lee coming to the inside groove, getting some push by Greg Webb. Oh, and there goes the race. George Bark, Matt Clifton go out. Dustin Lee, number 2 in points, coming into the race tonight, will take home the victory here at Daytona. 4th race of 5 races. What an amazing finish here tonight, folks. That's what you pay to get your money's worth And that's what you got your money's worth here tonight. Amazing move by Dustin Lee taking that inside groove. Greg Webb there to help. What a beautiful move, folks. We are going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we will have some driver interviews for you here tonight. Welcome back to the All-Pro Broadcast Network, man. What an amazing finish to this race that you saw here tonight. Dustin Lee able to pull it off. We got some driver interviews coming up for you here tonight. Before we do, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Dan's Top Notch Heating and Cooling, Apache Graphics Race Designs, John Hedrick, Over the Top Designs and Paints. Want to give them a thank, and Michelangelo's Painting, our sponsors here tonight. We are going to go live to the third place finisher tonight. He was third in points coming into the night, and man, was he able to pull off an amazing third place finish. Damon Gilbert, are you on the line there, buddy?
Yes, I got you, Dustin.
Wow, what an amazing finish. I mean, you battled up front all night, and you were able to do it there. What an amazing move to finish up third. How do you feel here tonight?
I feel pretty good. I got my buddy Dustin there win again. I always feel happy when me and him finish up front. Sad to see George fall out right there, get wrecked going across the final straightaway there. But yeah, it was pretty much it was an overall good night. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, a lot of good moves in that red 68 Camaro, and I'm telling you, it looks like you always pull on the clinic when you're out there racing. Anybody you want to give a shout out here tonight?
No, I just want to thank Dustin Lee, George Bark, everybody over there, you for commentating this, D'Amico on the cameras, and everybody that put this on, my dad, yep.
Wonderful job tonight, Damon. Want to thank you much for your time, buddy, and good luck to you, and go celebrate.
Thank you.
That is your third place finisher here tonight, and we are going to go next up. We will be going to what I call the submarine. As I mentioned earlier, folks, this guy is a silent racer in the beginning. He doesn't do much. He's not very aggressive, but when it counts, you can definitely count on him to find his way to the front of the pack. We're going to go live now to Greg Webb. Are you there?
Yeah, go ahead there, Dust.
Greg, what a move, man. My goodness, you guys got that lower groove opened up, and boy, did you guys run with it. What a move for you. I mean, you're going to move up in some points tonight. How do you feel about finishing second here at Daytona?
It's pretty good there. I'm pretty excited about that there. I wished I'd have took tires on that last caution I was in there. Kind of got a pushing up in the corners there, but that's racing there. That's hard super speedway racing.
Well, you're doing that Apache Graphics and Race Design Pink job proud here tonight at Daytona. Anybody you want to give a shout out while we got you on the horn here, bud?
Oh, yeah. We'll give a shout out to D'Amico, Ed, All Pro, Hedrick, Ed. There's a bunch I can give a shout out to. Just this whole All Pro series here is just awesome. Awesome.
Well, it looks like your lucky charming has worked out for you here tonight. It looks like you owe that boy a shot, and you'll have to do some good partying here tonight. Good job to you tonight here, Greg. I want to thank you much for your time.
Hey, I appreciate you. And one more thanks I'd like to shout out to. I'd like to shout out to Ryan Eckstein. He's a good guy to work with on these super speedways.
Yeah, it looks like you guys worked together to get some positions here tonight, and definitely panned out for the both of you.
Appreciate you.
Not a problem. Thank you much, Greg. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go live to your leader. I believe he will now be the series points leader. The race winner tonight here at Daytona. He qualified 14th coming into this race, believe it or not. He was at the back of the pack, able to finish at the front of the pack. The 51 of Dustin Lee. Dustin Lee, how do you feel about your victory here tonight at Daytona?
Feel pretty good. That was a good run.
Yeah, it was an amazing finish coming down. It looks like George Bart kind of lost it in that middle groove, and it opened up right for you, and man, Greg was on your bumper and just pushed you right to victory lane.
Yeah, I was pushing Damon. I thought we were going to end up pushing him to the win, but I guess I gave him a shot. I guess it kind of moved him up the track, and I was like, well, you know, if I left the bottom open, I knew I was going to lose, so I just kind of went for it. But definitely thanks to Damon and George there, though, for working with the whole race.
It definitely gave the viewers in attendance and the people who paid for this pay-per-view event, quote-unquote, their money's worth here tonight. Anybody else you want to give a shout-out to here on your victory speech here at Daytona?
Yeah, sponsor Olive Hill Welding and George and Damon for, you know, being good teammates and helping me out and sticking with me. I know there's a lot of carnage out there tonight. And just thank you guys for putting this on, and, you know, all pro.
Well, thank you much for your time, Dustin. Your race winner, the number 51 of Dustin Lee here tonight. He will be assuming lead in the points of this series heading into the conclusion next week at Talladega. We want to thank you for joining us here on the All Pro Broadcast Network here tonight. One final shout out to our sponsors. We got Dan's Top Notch Heating and Cooling. We also have Apache Graphics and Race Designs, as well as Over the Top Designs and Paints, and Michelangelo's Painting are our series sponsors. We want to thank them as well for their time, effort, and sponsorship into making this possible, especially Mr. Michael D'Amico on cameras. That guy does an excellent job putting it on here week after week. A lot of time, a lot of effort. Want to thank him, as well as Apache Graphics and Race Designs for their work on our website. That's what we want you to do, folks. We want you to check out all of their information about the All Pro Broadcast Network and All Pro Race Series on our website at www.all-pro-racing.com, or you can find us on Facebook at All Pro Racing, as well as if you're an iRacer and you want to get in on this action, first check our website, but if you can also find some information on iRacing, check out the All Pro Racing League. Well, we will be back next Tuesday night to conclude this 5-race series. And wow, what a points finish it's going to be, folks. It's going to be some excellent battles, and what an excellent track to be doing it at Talladega. That's where they say the big one happens, and when the tensions and the passions run high, it's going to make for a great racing session next week. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody. I wanted to see a lot of people tune in for that race, as we will be coming to the conclusion of this 5-race $50 all points in Dash for Cash grand prize next week. If you want to get some more racing action, we have a Thursday night Cadillac series. It's a blend of oval and race courses coming up. That will be this Thursday night. If you are an open wheel fan and want to get on some action, we have a Silver Crown Monday night series. And as always, we have our 50-50 bi-weekly racing series. All that information you can find out on our website. One more time for you, it's www.all-pro-racing.com. And before we let you go, one more shout out as far as donations are concerned. We love and accept money. Want to keep good things going here on the All Pro Racing League. So that donation, $25, will get you a nice racing decal that you will see on the Garrett Smithley Xfinity car coming up later this, I believe it's later this year. He's going to be in the real Xfinity series that you see, kind of that you watch on TV, on cable, satellite, however you get it. Garrett Smithley will be racing that. He will be carrying the All Pro Racing Series logo on his car. A decal on his car, excuse me. You can get that same decal for $25 donation mailed straight to your house. We appreciate all the donations we can get to make this things possible, so definitely check that donation button out there on our Twitch channel. So as always, we want to thank you for tuning in here to the All Pro Broadcast Network. I'm Dustin Caldwell, and on cameras is Michael D'Amico, folks. Stay tuned. We got more racing action coming for you late this week. We'll see you next time here on the All Pro Broadcast Network.